Alright folks, need to excuse me, I'm eating jelly babies. Alright, so we're on the Sun. This one caught my attention. The link will be in the description. It's Sunday the 14th of April. So what we've got here is a sort of clip from a BBC afternoon show, or I don't know, BBC in the afternoon. I don't really watch the BBC. I don't watch telly, to be honest. It says here, furious Labour's David Lammy compares Tory MPs to Nazis and says Brexit is like the rise of Hitler in a bizarre rant. Now that is what you call a bizarre rant. Now, what he actually said was he compared Boris Johnson to a Nazi, in the, a German Nazi during the Second World War. I mean, Boris, you say boo to Boris, he'd faint. But wait till you hear this guy. Without further ado, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zero in on this dude, and you're going to actually see someone who wants to take away your right to speak, your right to vote, your opinions, because he has an opinion. Right, now watch this. Now he's talking about fascism, now remember. Now watch how he displays. This is what fascism actually starts out like. Now this is real.
Or being close to Nazi ideology.
We do know that Boris Johnson is with Steve Bannon, who is a white supremacist. We do know that there are links between Viktor Orban, Salvini and others. I'm not backing off on this. Never will I back off on this on behalf of my constituents. And the BBC should not allow this extreme hard right fascism to flourish. And often these are elected
side of Conservative MPs.
I don't care how elected they were. So was the far right in Germany. They're often elected, often giving a cover for the thugs on the ground. And I'm afraid when people are experiencing rising hate and extremism in this country, we must not concede ground. We must fight it and call it out for what it is.
Okay, so you get the drift where this guy's gone. So let's just correct a few things here. So what he's basically said is that Viktor Orban, who's running Hungary, now Hungary has had millions of people running through it on their way to the west, right? And they've put up fences because they've had enough of it, right? And Salvini has now become the government in Italy for the same reason. He's not in Italy and he's not in Hungary. He does nothing about what's going on there. Now, they do have conservative politics. They're saying, we're putting a stop to this. And they're entitled to, because the people of the country have voted for them. He disagrees with that because of his political views. Now, let's move on from that. He then went on to say, trying to justify his position, the interviewee says to him, hold on a minute, these people you're talking about, like Jacob Rees-Mogg, who's a Jew, as far as I know, and Boris Johnson, they're Conservative MPs. They've been voted by people. I don't care. Now that's crucial. I don't care who voted for them. These people, he said, are like the far right in Germany. And what he's alluding to there is Nazis in Germany. But here's a bit of information, folks. Like information that this guy here doesn't want you to really understand. And he doesn't understand because he doesn't know history. The Germans were actually far left. The party they were in was called the National Socialist Party. How funny is that, folks? Because it isn't funny, is it? So how come all these years later he can say with a straight face, not knowing a thing, that ignoramus sitting there, that Hitler was far right? Well, what happened at the end of the Second War was that all the socialists in Europe were getting tarred with the Hitler brush. Hitler was a socialist, National Socialist Party. Well, we can't have that. We can't have that. So what they did was, and the sort of thing that's quite common was to change the narrative. You see, folks, you hear about people saying the narrative this and the narrative that. They've been on to this a long, long time ago. So they changed the narrative. They got the newspapers, etc., etc. Just like today, people. Nothing's changed. They've just become sophisticated. They're online now. But they changed the newspapers, made the newspapers change the narrative to make it look like Hitler was far right, a fascist, so that they were not tarred by that brush. So they changed history, and he doesn't understand that, right? Now, nobody's saying that Hitler was anything but an evil wee shit, right? And got everything that he deserved. You know, he done a lot of really, really bad shit. But guys like this are actually Hitler. Now listen to him again and you'll see the Hitler in him.
Close to Nazi ideology.
We do know that Boris Johnson is with Steve Bannon, who is a white supremacist. We do know that there are links between Viktor Orban, Salvini and others. I'm not backing off on this. Never will I back off on this on behalf of my constituents. And the BBC should not allow this extreme hard right fascism to flourish. And often
these are elected
side of
Conservative MPs.
I don't care how elected they were. So was the far right in Germany. They're often elected, often giving a cover for the thugs on the ground. And I'm afraid.
So in other words, folks, because there was a vote and he lost that vote, he's not having any of it. That's just what Hitler does. That's what Hitler did. When Hitler or any of them, there was any chance that anybody going against what they wanted, he stopped them speaking, just like he said there. The BBC shouldn't be allowing that. These guys are this, these guys are that, so we have to take action against them. That's the Hitler complex. He is displaying it. Give this guy a gun and some pals, and they'll decide to go and sort it out. That's the story. That's the reality. He isn't far off being a commander in some military group. That's where his principles are going to take him. It's an old story, folks, right? And don't let anybody, especially a BAM like this guy, because he is a BAM, right? Convince you otherwise. Very, very dangerous man. All right, and the state would be aware of somebody like that, right? Anyway, folks, that's my tuppence worth. Mind and like and subscribe. Peace out.